cover, and in order for us to do it, just keep your answers brief so we can cover as many subjects as we can. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting having dinner with a friend of mine who, when I mentioned to, there was a group of us, and I mentioned to them that I will have someone who was an Illuminati on the show, and we started talking about Freemasonry. And the guy said, wait a minute, you know, Freemasons, they're just good men who love each other and wants to help each other. You know, it is not this conspiracy stuff, and they want to control the world and secret societies and all this stuff. He said there's nothing secret about it. It's just a group of men who love each other, who just for being brothers in humanity, and they help each other. So tell me what Freemasonry is, and is my friend correct about it, that it's only a few people who want to help each other?
At the lower levels, it's a very innocent kind of club with people playing around with this fancy gear, aprons, these collars, these big medals, this wanting to be becoming. It's a bit of an arrivist, how you say, kind of club. On the lower level, there is a lot of people who innocently put themselves involved with this pyramid because they don't know what's happening on the levels above, which is from 30 to 33 degrees, who you can, in America, accede to other side orders who have then control over Freemasonry. And one of these orders is the Shriners, for example, which is very powerful in the United States and is directly under the control of Dick Cheney. And then you have, obviously, the Knights of Malta, who are the aristocracy of the Freemasonry. So the Knights of Malta are the ones who actually manipulate on orders of the Vatican the rest of the Freemasons in the lower ranks. In fact, you even have a degree, a side degree of the York Rite practicing in the United States dedicated to the Knights of Malta. And the Knights of Malta are then spiritually driven by the Jesuits, and the general of the Jesuits, Covenbach, who is in charge of this mission, which also involves the Zionists. The Zionist lobbies of families connected to also the aristocracy, like, for example, Rothschilds, and we have Rockefeller, who are both Knights of or the families, prominent members of Knights of Malta, and this makes them the bankiers of the Vatican. I was for many years involved in the P2 Lodge, the P2 Lodge, the Monte Carlo Lodge of the P2, which was the only surviving lodge after the scandal erupted 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago. I think you remember the scandal and what happened in Rome. If you have a bit of knowledge of of what happened in those days in London, at one point somebody ended up hanging off a bridge. And that guy was called Roberto Calvi. He was the banker of God, nicknamed the banker of God. But he was involved in this structure, this lodge, which is very particular because it's connected to the Mother Lodge Ecclesia, which is the Grand Lodge of Freemasons inside the Vatican, which consisted of 4 lodges. And then you have the connection directly with the Duke of Kent and the English throne and the Queen. So you have also the Queen of England in charge of the Knights of Malta for England, for example. Then you have the Russian Knights of Malta. But all these branches are part of a district web, a very intricate web. And at the lower ranks, the Freemasons in the lower level, I mean, they get to witness until the 3rd degree pretty much nothing. They become Master Masons. Most of them, if they follow after the 3rd degree, they do it quite unwillingly. They do it because they want to get to know other people, maybe some business deals. They're not really interested in the esoteric side. The people who are interested in the esoteric side join societies like, for example, the Martinists. The Martinists recruit within Freemasonry, within the Scottish Rite, the people who then will talk with the Jesuits, will be the connection between this link, which is a holy link, which is also this described in one of the frontispiece of the publications of Johann Valentin Andre, who was the father of Rosicrucianism. Rosicrucianism is a current that connects secretly the Vatican with the Protestant realm.
Okay, so
I'm giving you here a more or less a wide description of the whole thing, but the Freemason in the lower degree doesn't, if he's not reckoned as suitable for what comes after, he will never see what's after. He will just forever mingle in those lower degrees, in those lower levels of the pyramid, where things are kept quite innocent and where there is some great charity donations every now and then to keep people happy, and where everything seems very innocent. I was initiated in 1993 by Prince Aliato di Monreale into a particular form of Freemasonry for the aristocracy. Then I regularized my position years later under the United Grand Lodge of England with Julian Rees as my mentor. Julian Rees, who is considered one of the most important Freemasons in England. And I also participated at the Canterbury Masonic Research Center to the conference in 2004 dedicated to many religions and one brotherhood, which was a key conference in this crusade against the real believers.
Okay.
Because
Leo,
these people we can define as crusaders. That's what they are.
So Leo, let me see. Okay, why are we to worry about Illuminatis? And now, what's an Illuminati?
Okay, an Illuminati is not only the order founded by Adam Weishaupt in 1776. That's one of the openly, let's say, an open showing something in the open, because there is higher levels that never show themselves even as much. Weishaupt was himself a puppet under the puppet masters that were controlling him, the invisible college of the Rosy Cross. And Adam Weishaupt created under order of the Jesuits also the order of the Illuminati, which after became involved with some prominent lodges that were born later on with a charter given by that was obviously coming from Germany, the Skull and Bones, the famous lodge, the infamous lodge, which is based in Yale University. But we have many Illuminati, because Illuminati is all the high degrees of Freemasonry, practice various kinds of rites, and in these various kinds of rites they have all sorts of Illuminati specialized in different levels of the pyramid. The higher levels come after the 33 degree, when you get initiated into the rites of Memphis and Mizraim, into the rites of Memphis and Mizraim. They can also be separate.
Okay.
Actually,
so
this.
Okay, just so we can move on. Now, you were 33rd degree. How high in that hierarchy scale were you?
I was not only 33rd, but I was also a 90 and 95 of the Memphis and Mizraim. So I also went above the regular degrees that bring you to the knowledge.
Okay.
To the
so now
of
who are the people up there in those high? Can you give us some names of the people who are in that hierarchy up there?
Okay, for example, I was working under direct orders of Comandante Giorgio Ugo Balestrieri. Comandante Giorgio Ugo Balestrieri is an ex-P2 member that is a current director of the Rotary Club in New York. He is a senior member